Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your mom's favorite baseball history podcast. I'll put the word weekly in there, too, because at least that's what she tells me. That's what she's telling us. All right. My name is Jeff. I'm one half of the show, as always. Joining me, per usual, this week from the Eric Plantenberg studios in the Seattle.
Man, that's a good one. You went deep for that one.
I did. I forget what year I typed in. I think I typed in 95 Mariners or something. And a left-handed relief pitcher that only pitched for 3 years. Not well, mind you, but still he was left-handed. So figured he'd still be around.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I vaguely remember the name, but yeah, I wanted to dig deep on that one just to make our listeners think. But Mark, welcome.
I believe you were successful.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Mark, welcome. This is show number 304. 304. Yes. This is going to be a Tales from the Dugout show, which I was trying to look back, Mark. I don't think we've done one of these in 6 months. It's been a long time since we've said screw it and just throw a bunch of short stories against the wall and see what sticks. It's a pasta show.
You got to do these once in a while just to purge your notes of stories that aren't long enough for a full narrative.
Yeah.
But are good enough that you want to tell people.
It's our job. It's what we get paid the big bucks for. So,
the big bucks.
Let's get right into it. Let's get into our BP segment. First of all, Mark, since the last time we talked, the World Series has ended, unfortunately. Could not go on forever. Let's see, 51 million viewers for Game 7 of the World Series. It was the most viewers since Game 7 of the 1991 World Series, which, if you remember that went extra innings and was a complete game for Jack Morris in that game. I think Smoltz came out. I think he pitched all but one. Didn't he pitch like 10? And then somebody came in the 11th and didn't do so well.
Yeah, didn't quite pull it off.
No, but do you think this was the most? Now, 91 is obviously pretty exciting. Is this the most exciting World Series of our lifetime, at least?
I think so. It wasn't just one game that was super exciting. There were heroes and goats and legends were born.
Yeah, this did. I don't know about these numbers because I see numbers that like more than half of Canada was watching, and that's included in these numbers. I think for me, most non-LA based or non-Dodger fans were rooting for the Blue Jays, but also the casual fans might not have watched because it's the Blue Jays. But I think the word of mouth of how exciting these games were, and they were, you hit the nail right on the head. These games were close. They were exciting. There were extra innings. They were very well played. They were quick because of the pitch clock. I didn't even mind. Well, I didn't mind the extra innings anyway, but that 18-inning game, I didn't hear a single person complaining about it being too long.
No, that was an incredible game. Just inning after inning after inning.
It was
just amazing.
Even Joe Davis never went to the restroom during that entire game. I got to imagine he's drinking quite a bit, too, during that time. Yeah, talk that much. You're going to have something. But you know what? For me, I was definitely rooting for the Blue Jays, but I realized I don't hate anybody. Well, I mean, on the Dodgers, I hate Kershaw and I hate Trinan. I don't like them for reasons. But is there anybody you really hate on the Dodgers? Who hates Mookie Betts?
No, I know.
Who hates Shohei Ohtani? Who hates Yamamoto?
Right. No, there's no one I hate. I'm not the biggest fan of Teoscar Hernandez, but
you're a Mariner fan, that's why.
Yeah, because I saw him kick a few balls in the outfield for us, and so it's kind of like, Well, he's not my favorite, but
he let a single go into a triple to lead off an inning in a very important situation. But
they don't call him Mr. Defense.
Yeah, he's not there for his defense. Now, I hear things about Freddie Freeman in the locker room that I don't really like, but I watch him on the field and I like him. Blake Snell, if you're a gamer or a stoner, you're on board with Blake. Will Smith, does anybody have any ill feelings towards Will Smith, Max Muncy? These names are just, they don't evoke. Like on the Yankees, like I don't hate Aaron Judge. But I don't like a lot. I don't like Volpe. I don't like a lot of the Yankees, and just the fact that Yankees fans are obnoxious. It's tough to root for them, but the Dodger fans are just like, they're not talkers. But it was a great World Series. I'm sad to see it end. I've mentioned this on the stream a couple of times. I think MLB.TV this year during the offseason is going to be playing like Caribbean League games will be available on MLB.TV. Don't quote me on it, but be something to watch here during the offseason. By the way, speaking of the Dodgers, do you know how many games Kike Hernandez pitched in this year?
I do not.
5 as a position player.
Really?
5 games. He gave up 11 hits, 11 runs in 5 1/3 innings. He walked 8 and struck out 1.
Walked 8 and struck out 1. Well, not everybody can be Greg Maddux.
No, but he pitched 5 1/3 innings. So that got me wondering who in the position as a position player pitched the most this year. And unfortunately, I could not figure out a way for StatHead to give me that information. So I had to do a lot of just sorting manually, the old-fashioned way. Found a couple of players. So first of all, Jake Bauers of the Brewers. This year, Jake Bauers, this is a good team too, the Brewers. They have best record in the National League. He appeared in 5 games and pitched 5 innings, very similar to Kike Hernandez. Only gave up 8 hits, 4 runs. Hit 2 batters, struck out 1, walked 3. So his whip was a bit lower, but 2.25. His ERA was much lower at 3.6. Also, let's see here for not for the Marlins, for the Dodgers, World Series hero Miguel Rojas. All right. For the Dodgers, team that won the World Series, he appeared in 4 games and pitched 5 innings. So he had multiple inning outings. In those 5 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, 3 home runs given up, 2 walks, 1 stolen base, or I'm sorry, one hit batter, no strikeouts. So his whip was lower than Kike. So the Dodgers had 2 position players that pitched 10 total innings this year.
That's bizarre.
That is very bizarre, but it does not equal Javier of the Fish. I don't even know who this. I've never heard of this guy. Javier Sanoa. He pitched this year. It was his first year in the big leagues. Or no, I'm sorry. It's second year in the big leagues. He made 8 appearances on the mound and pitched a total of 9 1/3 innings.
Wow.
He won a Gold Glove this year too, BT Dubs.
What?
He appeared in 8 games, 9 1/3 innings, 24 hits he gave up, 17 runs, all of which were earned, 4 home runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. His whip is 3.1 and his ERA is 16.39.
Well, it sounds like he was getting it over the plate.
A little too much.
Over the plate.
I think he won the utility Gold Glove because he played every position except for catcher this year, and he won a Gold Glove. So I'm going to assume that is why he played everywhere. He almost qualified for the pitching Gold Glove. He pitched
almost
so much, but wow, that's a lot of position players pitching. Mark, I think we went over the contemporary Hall of Fame ballot a couple of weeks ago. Before they've now narrowed it down to who the committee is going to vote for. But I'm pretty sure we did this like a month or 2 months ago, and we voted, and Dale Murphy's going to get in this year. That was the only person that we elected unanimously.
I believe so.
Yeah, no Donnie Baseball. Keith Hernandez didn't even make the final ballot. I don't think Kenny Lofton did either. But Bonds and Clemens are going to be there. I think Jeff Kent's there too. Gary Sheffield. We've got some steroids guys. I don't think Kent's not a steroid guy, but he's just got anger issues, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bonds and Clemens. I'm going to guess they're not going to get in. I did see, I'm interested to get your take on this, Mark. I saw somebody saying that, well, Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame. So why aren't we letting these steroid guys in? Because Selig knew what was going on and let it happen. Mm-hmm. Instead of juicing the ball, he juiced the players. So if he got in, why aren't these guys that were just following the rules at that point getting in?
Yeah, I mean, it was under his regime, and you're right. He looked the other way. So that's a great point, actually.
Is it going to change your mind or anybody else's? Probably
it won't
not.
change mine.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Somebody else's maybe.
There's just a handful of people on this committee. Is it going to change their minds? I doubt it. I don't think.
Can we vote Bud Selig out?
Put Robbie Alomar in there too. Get him out of there. Let's see. This is something to look forward to if you're a golf fan as well. Major League Baseball is going to be hosting a competitive golf tournament with 60 current and former major leaguers representing all 30 clubs. It's going to be at Shadow Creek. I don't know where that is. It's going to be part of Capital One MLB, or it's going to be called the Capital One MLB Open, and it's going to happen during MLB Awards Week, which will be next week.
Okay.
I wonder if that'll be on the MLB network.
I don't watch a lot of golf, but I would definitely watch that.
I would too. You're going to have Smoltz there, obviously.
Yeah,
I think you're going to have Mark Mulder, who I don't want to talk about anymore. I've got to assume Mookie Betts is probably a scratch golfer too. He's bowling, golf, anything like that. CC Sabathia is a big golfer now. It could be really cool. Could have a lot of really big names there. We'll see.
That'd be cool to see.
Let's try to remember next week to give an update on that, just how it went.
Sounds good.
I saw a Japanese TV show hired a detective. Japanese PIs getting a lot of baseball work here recently, trying to find someone in Japan who didn't know who Shohei Ohtani was. Can you venture a guess how many people he asked? Well, I don't know if it's they ask before they found somebody that didn't know who Shohei Ohtani was in Japan.
812.
Oh, you're way short, my friend.
Really?
You are about 100 times short. 7,524 people.
Wow.
Before somebody claimed they didn't know who Shohei Ohtani is. Now, would that number be higher or lower here in the United States if you just walked out anywhere in the United States? How many people would you have to ask before somebody didn't know who Shohei Ohtani was?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a much lower number.
I think it is too, but I think it's still going to be pretty high. There were a lot of interest in the World Series here of people that weren't baseball fans because the games were exciting. Shohei Ohtani is everywhere. He's everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be lower than 7,500, but should we hire a PI?
Yeah. I mean, we're making all this money from this podcast.
Yeah. And I wonder, is this in downtown Tokyo that this detective was, or were they out in a rice paddy farm somewhere in Okinawa?
Well, maybe they did it on the phone.
Who's picking up their phone? Well, I guess you get the boomers then. I don't know. We'll get on that too. We'll definitely hire a PI. All right, Mark, are you ready for just an hilarious joke?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Well, so this I'm not going to tell it. We've got a special guest to tell this joke. I found this on YouTube. It is called The Funniest Joke I Know. And this is William Shatner telling a joke, and it's about baseball, so it's going to be good.
I love horses, so I got a great horse joke for you. Tom Minnesota's having a problem with his Dodgers. He's losing everything. He's losing his shirt. He's losing his mind. He's desperate. He needs another player. Agent comes up to him and says, I got a great player for you. He says, who is it? He says, it's a horse. A horse? What am I going to do with a horse? He says, put him in the lineup. What do you got to lose? The professor says, you're right. Puts the horse in the lineup, places him at third base. Ground ball is hit to the horse. The horse scoops up the ball, throws it to first base. Guy's out. Fantastic. Sort of tries him at second base. Ball is hit to the horse. Double play. Zip, zip, zip. Incredible. And sort of can't believe it. Puts him at first base. The horse leaps up, catches the ball, puts a man out. Tries him in the outfield. A ball is hit to the horse. Hard and high. It's a sure home run. The horse leaps up into the air, catches the ball. Lasorda is ecstatic. Puts him into the batting lineup. First time up at bat. The horse looks at the pitcher. Pitcher looks at the horse. Pitcher throws the ball. A horse winds up, swings, hits the ball further than any ball has ever been hit before. And Lasorda yells, what are you doing? The horse is just standing there at the home plate. He says, what are you doing? Run, run! Horse looks at Lasorda. He says, if I could run, I'd be at Hialeah.
Now, I'm assuming Hialeah is a racetrack. I don't know.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be the Kentucky Derby or something like that? But there you go. Is that the funniest joke you've ever heard? Or is this some misled?
It was pretty funny.
It was more fun to hear William Shatner talk about a horse. He said, what are you doing? Yeah, that's what's called filler folks. This filler right there. There's a 1.5-minute joke about a horse. By the way, William Shatner is sitting on a horse while he's telling this. All that canned laughter is just atrocious. But it's William Shatner. And he had like riding boots on. He looked pretty cool, not going to lie. And he also just described that Twilight Zone episode that you did an episode on with the horse, Mr. Ed.
Oh, yes.
or no, it was not Twilight Zone. It was Mr. Ed. Twilight Zone was the
Mr.
robot.
Ed, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. All right, Mark, I've asked 2 weeks ago, then I prodded people last week for the answer to a trivia question. In baseballs, how much does the Chicago White Sox mascot Southpaw weigh?
Right.
I prodded some people. We got some answers. 621, by the way. 621 baseballs. So Brian Krause, long-time listener, long-time supporter. Thank you, Brian. He got that answer incorrect. To us correctly, not incorrectly. He got it to us correctly. David from the 1988 Topps podcast also got it right, but he's a White Sox fan, so that's like on the test to be a White Sox fan.
Oh, yes.
But it's question number 11, which is weird because questions 1 through 10 they all just ask why. Why would you want to be a White Sox fan? That's 1 through 10, and then 11 is in baseballs. How much does Southpaw weigh? So you might be asking, Mark, well, all right, 621 baseballs. How much does that equate to in pounds?
How much does that equate to in pounds?
194.
Okay.
Which I don't believe this. A baseball weighs about 5 ounces. So 621 times 5 is 3,105 ounces, which is equal to 194 pounds. Now, compared to some of the more portly mascots here, and we're not body shaming mascots.
We're not body shaming mascots.
We're not body shaming mascots.
There's some tubby ones, but we're not.
Doing
that.
Yupe, the Fanatic, Lucille. Are there? Well, let me put it this way. I think Southpaw might be the sveltest mascot in the big leagues. Like he could wear skinny jeans.
But please don't.
Don't. Yeah. But his head alone has got to weigh like 20 pounds. And first of all, if we've learned anything from Jerry Maguire, it's that the human head weighs 10 pounds. And he's got a very large head, maybe more than 20 pounds. I think he might have lied on his driver's license.
Yeah, it's possible.
Which is what I'm going by here. It says 621 baseballs under the pound sign. The pound sign. Under the weight for his drivers, which apparently he's got a driver's license. So hope he's got a convertible or something with a sunroof to stick that huge noggin out of.
Definitely needs that. You know what they say? He'll be crying himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
That's what they say. All right. If they say one thing repeatedly, that is it.
That's right.
All right, Mark, we're going to do something. Oh, I think we already mentioned it. It's a Tales from the Dugout episode. We haven't done one of these for a while. We got to remember how to get into this. First of all, we're going to let the grounds crew come out, perfect this field. By the way, did you know that there's a baseball game like in a week at Citi Field in New York? It's the Dominican versus Puerto Rico. I don't know who's going to be playing. I think it's going to be cold but they're playing a baseball game at Citi Field in a week.
Wow,
Again,
okay.
check MLB Network. I'm just pushing everybody to MLB Network in case they show any of these things.
And they're not even sponsoring us.
No, they should fly us out there.
Without question.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Mets hat right now. I should totally do that. All right, Mark, let's get into it here. Our Tales from the Dugout. These are just short. Mine this week are super short, like just a couple of paragraphs, like quick hits. It's like soft toss in BP kind of thing. Just bam, bam, bam. Mark, I'll start us off here. Let's go back to 1988. I want to talk Mike Tyson's mother-in-law, better known as Robin Givens' mother, which I think you got to be of a certain age to know who Robin Givens is. Mm-hmm. But in the 80s, she was a big star, married to Mike Tyson. She was on, I was going to say Full Class. That's a mixture of Full House and Head of the Class. But she was on Head of the Class. She was very beautiful. I assume she was in other things. I don't know. But Robin Givens' mother reached an out-of-court settlement with Dave Winfield. I've never heard this in my life. She sued him, though, for allegedly giving her an STD, Winfield admitted nothing, and he said, quote, "I know I'm clean. That's hitting below the belt." Whoa, Dave with the zingers, the boxing cliches in response to this. So her name is Ruth Roper. That's Robin Givens' mother. She had dated Winfield for a few years before her daughter became famous, as I mentioned, on Head of the Class, and then later married Mike Tyson. She sued Winfield in 1988. The case was sealed, and by the time it hit the papers a couple of years later, both entries in this lawsuit were pretty famous. Dave Winfield being Dave Winfield, and then Robin Givens for the whole Mike Tyson thing. But Winfield, again, denied everything. Tyson wrote in his autobiography, he did not write kindly about either of these women. And the story ended up the way many of these did, loud, messy, and just, I never even heard of it. Or if I did, I'd forgotten it. But Winfield just wanted the case to go away. He was getting married to his wife, Tanya, who they're still together today with. As I said, Tyson wrote a book called Undisputed Truth, and he claimed that mother and daughter were con artists, borderline prostitutes on the prowl for famous athletes.
Wow.
Well, they both hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, they both scored a winner.
My God, Winfield, how many people did he have like following him around, do you think? Because Steinbrenner had people on his tail.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's mother-in-law maybe they hired that detective from Japan. I don't know. There's a lot of PIs in this episode, but I had never heard this story. This seems like this is back in the time when Margot Adams and Wade Boggs were a big thing. Steve Garvey's kids were coming out of the woodwork. This seemed like it would be right up there, but I never heard it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar to me either.
No. Now we know. All right. Hit me up with one of yours.
Have we talked about Chuck Klein?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll talk about Chuck Klein. Okay, Chuck Klein. We're talking about Chuck Klein. Is that okay?
Yeah, name's familiar. I'm not sure why, but it's familiar.
He was one of the premier sluggers, baseball's early 20th century. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was a big-time power hitter, had great batting averages, and a really dominant stretch in the 20s and early 30s. So an overview. He was born in 1904. He was a right fielder. He was a left-handed hitter. He played for the Philadelphia Phillies most of his career. I also played for the Cubs and Pirates. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1980. Career stats, career batting average, 320. Career home runs, 300. RBI is 1,201 and 2,076 hits. So
300 on
career.
on the dot. Home runs. All right. Remember that for the grid. That's a good one. 300.
Yes.
And he's a Hall of Famer. Got to remember that.
Yes, even better. In his prime, he was definitely one of the best hitters in baseball history. He had 4 straight 200-hit seasons. 1929 through 1932, he had 200 hits in each season. Led the National League in home runs 4 times. And he won the 1933 Triple Crown.
Wow.
So he hit 368 with 28 home runs and 120 RBI.
Didn't win the MVP.
He won the MVP in 32.
Yeah, but he won the Triple Crown and he didn't win the MVP.
Right. Well, I think because that was 33, he had won it in 32. Now,
that's right. You could only win it once.
Only win it once.
Yeah. But he received votes though. So I don't know. How does that work? I see Carl Hubble won it, and he won 2 of the 3 pitcher Triple Crowns, but didn't strike out many. But yeah, you're right, because you could only win it once for a while, but why would he receive votes otherwise? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't quite understand it. Chuck was not a great fielder, but he had a gun of an arm. So he led the league in assists multiple times. Teams and opponents described him as quiet, polite, and hardworking, not flashy, but very consistent at the plate. He got traded to the Cubs in 34. His production fell off. Some of it was due to injuries, and he played in the Baker Bowl. Okay, that's the name of the stadium.
Yep.
And it was very well known for being a left-handed hitter's paradise. So he was built for this ballpark. Left field, 341 feet. Center field, 408. Right field, 280.
But with a 50-foot high spiked fence.
40-foot high tin wall.
Yeah, that wall, it was called a spite fence because there were houses right across, and so people would watch the game from the rooftops, and the owner didn't like that. You're watching my product for free, so he blocked it off so you couldn't see.
Yep. And Klein was a pull hitter, so he
great park for him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was perfect. He said that most of his home runs were screaming low line drives that would have been doubles or long outs in most parks. During his prime, he often hit twice as many home runs at home than on the road. And it's an argument that his stats are Baker Bowl inflated, but his road stats still very strong. And he wasn't just a product of the park. Not a whole lot about him as far as personal life and so on. But I just wanted to point him out because I wasn't very familiar with him, and he had some unbelievable numbers and won the Triple Crown and all that fun stuff. Chuck Klein, underrated. If you didn't know about him, you're not the only one.
So here I'm looking up his career home runs. Overall for his career, 190 at home and 110 away. So 2/3 of his home runs were at home. 164 of them were at the Baker Bowl. He did play for the Cubs for a couple of years, you said. He hit 37 at Wrigley and only 12 at the Polo Grounds. I thought maybe he would hit a little bit more than that, but he's got Busch, Forbes, and Ebbets Field. He hit more than the Polo Grounds.
It's funny. I was reading just the history of the parks, and it actually says that the Baker Bowl is more hitter-friendly than Wrigley Field, which is a very hitter-friendly park.
Yeah, I'm depending on which way the wind's blowing. Yeah. I've heard that name. He's probably come up in starting 9. That's probably where I've come up with him. And then I get roasted in chat because I don't remember who he played for. So I got to remember this. Phillies.
There you go.
In there. All right. This is, you asked me before we did that, have we talked about Chuck Klein before? And I said, I don't know. This is somebody that came up, I think it was during starting 9 this last week. And I wrote him down, and I did a little blurb on him, and I put a question mark, and I literally wrote a note to myself. Have we already talked about this guy? John Wesley Snake Deal.
Doesn't sound familiar.
No, I did a comprehensive search of our 303 episodes prior and could not find. He didn't come up once, so I feel pretty confident that we haven't talked about John Wesley Snake Deal. He was born in 1879. He was a major league first baseman briefly. I say briefly. He played for the Cincinnati Reds in 1906. Probably more known as a professional basketball player. You can catch more about Snake Deal's basketball career on our basketball podcast, Two Strike Hoops. Find it wherever you're listening to this one, it's not there. You're gonna have to go elsewhere to find it.
Not. We made it difficult to find on purpose.
Patreon only. But he also, as I said, played basketball. He was a guard from 1899 to 1919 for various Pennsylvania teams in various leagues, including what would eventually become the National Basketball League. Not the NBA, just the NBL. But he is the earliest recorded player to make use of a jump shot.
Oh, wow.
Basketball player having to do basketball things for them. What's more rare, do you think, Mark? A 20-year career in baseball or basketball? Got to be basketball. It's more rare.
Yeah, sometimes it seems like these guys play forever, but I think it's got to be basketball.
Yeah, but like how many years has LeBron James in the NBA? I'm wondering. Let's look it up here. I'm having to go to Basketball Reference. I've never been to this site in my life before. Okay, so this is his 22nd. He's 40 years old and he started at 19. I don't even think you can be in the NBA at 19 anymore. So I would be willing to bet a steak dinner there are many more 20-year careers in basketball or in baseball than basketball.
Yeah, I would be on that side as well.
He got the nickname Snake from his dribbling style, where he was, quote, he would wiggle through the opposing team while dribbling. An early cage ball is what it says. So he had a bit of a temper. I don't know if he had a temper during basketball, but there's some great ejections here from his baseball career. Let's see, 1904, July 26th, he disagreed with a call and reportedly cursed and struck the umpire. But the umpire struck back. It's a good name for a movie. Yeah. 2 police officers had to intervene. The crowd stormed the field and Deal fled the scene. That's all the information I have. Later that year, he protested another call. It was a hit that was ruled a foul. He refused to leave. He was ejected, and the police had to come onto the field to escort him off. Okay. 1 week later, he quit mid-game after an argument with an umpire. He allegedly grabbed the umpire and strangled him, threw down his glove, and announced he'd never play for Harrisburg again. Would Harrisburg want him to play for them again? I don't know.
A bit of a temper, yes.
Yeah, and then he was a couple of years later, like at the end of his career in the minor leagues, he also was escorted off the field. What would happen today if you didn't leave? Like, cops are not going to come out and do this.
No.
Your teammates would have to, like, drag you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Your manager.
Chat you, talk you into leaving.
I don't think managers had that much respect in the 1800s that you're going to be able to point and they're going to go. Plus, there's a lot more money involved now, so probably have to listen to that. All right, Mark, hit me up with one of yours.
Okay, let's try this again. Have we talked about the 33-inning Rochester?
Yep, well, we did a whole episode on that bad boy.
That's what I thought. Dang nabbit. That was the one I had. I should have asked you before.
We could just replay it here. We'll just squish it in here. Best of. I got another one that goes with the last. Well, I guess it don't really go with that, but do you remember August 28th, 1960?
Oh, boy, what a year it was before I was born.
This was quite a ways before I was born, but I didn't remember this game. Again, these are all being shaped. A lot of these topics are being shaped on my live streams, if you want to come and help me out here. August 20th, 1960, the White Sox, 2.5 games out of first place. The Orioles are hanging around, but they're about to fall out of the pennant race. They're playing each other. White Sox and Orioles, top of the 8th. Chicago is down 3-0. 2 on, 2 out, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Ted Kluszewski. Big clue. Biceps probably looking spectacular. He might have oiled him up a little bit. Never know. I don't know if this was the sleeveless version of Clue or if...
Probably.
If it is, you know what it looks like. Otherwise, he's going to probably look like Terry Crews on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he's got those tight button-down shirts and the buttons are like just straining and fighting to stay attached. So Clue steps up and he crushes one to deep right. Gone. 3-run homer. Game tied. It's a tie game. Except home plate umpire Ed Hurley had apparently called time right before the pitch. He saw 2 White Sox relievers were illegally warming up in foul territory in front of the dugout. Why you wouldn't go to the bullpen, I don't know. But they thought, hey, let's just do it here. It's closer. So Hurley calls time a split second. Now, it says a split second before Kluszewski swung. Now, that's just too late.
Oh, yeah.
That's entirely too late. But he said the ball's dead, no pitch, no homer. It's still 3-0. The White Sox, as you can imagine, lose their mind. Nellie Fox got ejected, who was generally pretty level-headed. Bill Veeck, the owner, filed a protest, and the umpire Hurley later admitted, quote, "I wanted to dig a hole, but there's nothing I could do," end quote. There really was something he could have done. He did it too late or not in time. The O's held on to win 3-1 and then ripped off a 7-game win streak while Chicago kind of went downhill from there. So I'm thinking, all right, we've got Bill Veeck filing a protest. We got Nellie Fox losing it. What did Kluszewski do? Because I would assume if I'm the umpire, Kluszewski might be able to intimidate me a bit, especially if it's the sleeveless version. Nope, didn't do anything. Didn't yell, didn't throw a bat. Just asked what happened, picked up his bat, stepped back in, grounded out. Maybe he'd already given up on the season. I don't know. Ultimately, none of this mattered, though, except for Kluszewski's home run total. Took a slight ding, but the Orioles finished 8 games out of first and the Sox 10. So I'm trying to think if this has happened recently. Like, when I say recently, I mean in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Because usually batters, if they get a late time call, they might step out of the box, back away. Pitchers, sometimes they'll just throw a wild one to the screen or whatever. But yeah, I never see somebody call it and both the batter and pitcher are still like locked in and engaged. Am I forgetting? Am I forgetting one?
No, I don't think you are.
There's that time, and I don't remember the particulars, where somebody, and it wasn't Mike Hargrove, but somebody was slow getting to the box, and the umpire just told the pitcher, throw a pitch. And it wasn't right down the middle, but he was going to call it a strike no matter what, I think.
Right.
And then it was probably Tommy Lasorda. It had to be the Dodgers, right? Because it always is the Dodgers. But Tommy should have put his horse in there. His horse would have hit it, and
that's right.
Then he would have stayed put. Oh, well, I don't get that horse joke. Now I'm going to pick it apart, because if the horse hit a home run, he doesn't need to run. He can just jog or trot. So it doesn't matter if he's a runner or not.
So that's where the joke gets unrealistic.
Yeah,
too.
It really falls apart when you really start to think about it. And the home run that he caught, did he not move? Did he just jump straight up?
Yeah, the rest of the joke is legit. That stuff could really happen.
Yes, the rest of the joke kills.
Is really where it gets unrealistic.
All right, well, that'll do it for our quick little Tales from the Dugout there. All right, Mark, looking at the clock here, looking at executive producer Mitch, who is, I don't know, I hope he's wearing pants. It looks like he isn't from here, but I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Yeah. And he is signaling, though, that it is time for us to head into the final segment of the show. It is time for Wax Pack's Heroes. Gotta pull the Wax Pack Hero. Stars in his eyes. Hero! On the podcast tonight.
Hello again, friends. It's time for another installment of Wax Pack's Heroes. Before we can start, though, let's go over the rules. Mark and Jeff are going to play an old-fashioned game of war, except this is more like baseball reference war. They'll each get one card and will score the baseball reference war of the year of the card. But wait, they can add or subtract points depending on certain aspects of the card and the player's season. Any 80s baseball aesthetics the card displays will earn an extra 1/10 of a point. Or if they don't like something, like 2-in-1 stirrups, they can subtract a 1/10 of a point as well. Also, if the player won any awards that season, they get a 1/2 a point for each. If the player led the league in any categories, they'll get a 1/10 of a point for each positive category, but minus 1/2 a point for each negative one. If there's a Hall of Famer anywhere on the card, that's a whole extra point. If the player had a Costacos Brothers poster made of them, they get a 1/2 a point for that. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan get pulled, the round is over. Jeff automatically wins if either pulls a Ricky card, and Mark wins if Nolan is pulled. If the player has any pop culture references, they get a 1/2 a point, unless they appeared on Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That, friends, is a whole point for each. If the player was suspended for off-the-field mischief during their career or are on the 2SN, don't talk about list, that's a minus a 1/2 and a whole point respectively. So with that out of the way, it's time to play Wax Pack Heroes.
All right, Mark, last week we were using some 1990 Donruss.
Yes.
And while they're not much to look at, I enjoyed it because I swept you out of the building 3-0.
Yeah, that was ugly.
It was. We got notes that it was great fun. Everyone enjoyed it. It also tied us up at 3 apiece. Today we're going to continue with this pack, finish up with this pack. And we were doing this pack in honor of Seinfeld anyway, because... Right. The cards are on the top of it. I have a German Shepherd that literally just opened my office door and let himself in.
I heard something.
There is just, what do we do if dogs figure out how to use doorknobs? We're kind of screwed.
Well, as long as they don't develop the opposable thumb, we should be okay.
And we have to put one of those locks with the numbers on it. You got to punch the numbers. And he's got claws. You can do that.
Make sure the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's right, because he can only count to 4. He can only count to 4. Either you're going to get that joke or you're not. But if you get it, it's hilarious. All right, let's go ahead and finish these up, Mark. I'm going to go second, so I'm going to let you choose whether you want to. Well, no, I'm going to let you choose whether you want to go first or second. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been a while. You want first or second card?
First, please.
All right, Mark, your first card is a catcher, became a manager, won a World Series as a manager as well. It is none other than with the Dodgers, Mike Scioscia, who's got Simpsons like cred right out of the bat.
Yes, Mike Nova Scioscia.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Not bad, huh?
No. You've never given me that one before. Did you just come up with it, or what the heck's going on?
I feel like it was sitting in on my brain somewhere and it popped out somehow.
Yeah, all right. Well, happy birthday. Let's see. He's got real stirrups on here. He is wearing a double, or not a double. He's got an ear flap. I would have thought he'd be rocking the no ear flaps there, but 10th of a point there for you. I'm going to give you the 1 point for the Simpsons just right off the bat, you lucky son of a gun. Let's see here. Mike Scioscia, overall as a player, 13 years, all of it with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Won 2 World Series with them, of course. Again, what all the 88 references. Also, he was in the 81 World Series. He won that one as well. In 1990, good news for you, All-Star. He was only an All-Star twice. This was one of them. He, let's see, hit 264, 348 on base, slugged 405 for a 110 OPS plus, 12 home runs, 66 RBI, 4 stolen bases, only caught once, and a 2.7 WAR. Yeah,
I'll take it.
That's pretty good. So with the All-Star, that'll be a plus 3.3. So you're up to a 4.4. Right there. Didn't lead the league. Never led the league in anything.
No black ink.
Let's see. Defensively. Well, let's see. Defensively, he led the league in passed balls, errors, but also put outs, assists, and, well, 2 years in a row, he led the league in throwing out runners.
Oh, wow,
so,
yeah.
Pretty good. First round draft pick, 19th overall by the Dodgers in 1976. Nicknamed El Jefe. That's my name. That's my nickname. I never knew that he was called that. Television appearances, of course, Homer at the bat. And that's the best one ever. He made a second appearance on The Simpsons in the episode Money Bart. Having survived the radiation poisoning that he suffered during Homer at the Bat episode, he tells Marge and Bart that it gave him superhuman managing powers, as well as the ability to demagnetize credit cards. So there you go. I didn't know that.
Right.
Does he get double cred for that? I don't think that.
I don't think so. You just get the pop culture.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you appear.
All right. Him and his big head are going to get you a 4.4. You're going up against a Hall of Famer. This is literally one of the greatest packs. Well, when we had Ryan Fagan on, he had a great pack too. But this is a fantastic pack because I have got Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn.
Oh, very nice.
And
he didn't have an off year.
Anthony Keith Gwynn, Hall of Famer. Well, he's got a mustache here. He's not wearing his Mims bands though. So I'm not going to get...
Missed opportunity.
This is sad. I'm holding this card physically in my hand, and I'm trying to see if his jersey number is on his sweatbands there. And I actually put my thumb and my index finger on the card and spread them apart like it was going to zoom in on my phone. That's not good. Let's see, 20 years in the big leagues. Of course, all of it. That's weird. 2 cards where the guys played their entire careers with one team. 20 years for the Padres. In 1990, good news for me, All-Star and Gold Glove. Down year, only hit 309, 357.
It was an off year.
Yeah, 357 on base, 415 slug, a 112 OPS plus. He had 4 home runs, 72 ribs, 17 stolen bases, and a 2.9 WAR. So he's in the Hall of Fame, so that'll bring me up to 3.9. He's got a mustache. That'll take me up to 4. Oh, and he's got the Gold Glove, so that'll actually be 4.5. So I'm gonna win because he has not been dinged for any kind of steroids or other things that we ding people for. And he was on the baseball bunch at one point.
That's right. Yes.
Wow, he's got a good long page. I love it. And he was good. Called Ricky Henderson like the best teammate he could have ever had. Fan of that. Let's see. There's got to be other. This is just my God, have you seen this page? It is just long.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
AF. Gwen had a fear of flying.
Really?
Okay. It's not good when you're a baseball player. Well, this is funny because I watched a video from 1980 the other night on YouTube, and a local sports guy in San Diego went on a road trip with the team. And at this point, they were one of the few teams that had a private plane that they flew on. It was Ray Kroc's plane.
Okay.
And first of all, the interior is as 70s as you could hope it could be. A lot of orange, brown, carpeted stuff.
Bag carpet?
Everywhere, not just on the but the players were complaining about their travel. They're one of the only teams that is not flying commercial at that point.
Must be rough.
And at the end, the reporter's like, I quizzed the players, and by a wide margin, everyone would rather play more games at home than on the road. It's wow. Good. Really asking the tough questions.
Seriously? Come on.
Jeez. All right. Well, you know what? Tony Gwynn barely beats Mike Scioscia there. Oh, you know what? Tony Gwynn was in a commercial with Bip Roberts for talking baseball, too. That baseball game that you would put a card in and it would.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. So you are down 1-0. Your next card is not going to help you, I don't think, a whole lot. It is pitcher for the Reds. Oh, great. It's a 90s Reds card. Wonderful. Rick Mahler. Mahler? I always say Mahler.
Junk Mailer.
If he just threw junk, that would be a great name.
Yeah. Which he may have. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember him either here. Overall, I remember him. I just don't have any idea what he threw. 13 years in the big leagues, 11 with Atlanta, 2 with the Reds, 1 with Montreal. Led the league in losses in 86, but we're looking at 1990 where he went 7-6 as a part-time starter, a 4.28 ERA, 4 saves, 134 hits in 134 innings, struck out 68 for a 93 ERA plus, and a WAR of 1.0. Nothing on this card is going to help you out. It's just a head and shoulders shot pregame at Candlestick. Nothing there that's going to help you out.
I didn't think I'd get a 1.0. That makes me happy.
Yeah, let's see.
Call up your Hall of Famer.
Rick Mahler / Mailer died of a heart attack at age 51 as he was preparing for his second season as a minor league pitching coach for New York in 2005. Sorry about that, Rick. All right. Well, yeah. So that'll be an even 1. I guess it's better than a manager card even. And you've got a chance. You're going up against utility infielder for the Dodgers, Mike Sharperson.
I remember Mike Sharperson from the Albuquerque Dukes.
I remember him from the Dodgers. 8 years in the big league, 7 with the Dodgers, and then Toronto and Atlanta for bits and pieces. 1990. Oh, he had the best year of his career. I like it. Hit 297, 376 on base, slugged 373 for a 110 OPS plus, 3 home runs, 36 ribs, 15 stolen bases, walked 46, only struck out 39 times. Got on base. I like it. For a 2.3 WAR. He's got a mustache. I'll take it. At 1988 with the Dodgers. Just every team is going to beat the A's in the World Series that we're pulling. First round draft pick, 11th overall by the Blue Jays in 1981. And I don't believe he's going to have much in the way of pop culture. Just throwing it out there. Oh, geez. Died in a car crash.
Yes.
Ooh, going to the airport to join the Padres in Montreal after the Expos recalled him. He died in a 1-car crash just south of the Strip at 2:45 a.m. What? Wow.
I remember that now.
Ejected through the car's sunroof. He was 34 years old. Wow. Wow, these 2 cards are bummers.
Yeah, those are sad cards.
Well, Tony Gwynn's passed away.
That's true, too.
Scioscia's still around, but it's not looking good for him if he's hanging around with these other cards. Yeah. All right, well, I'll take the win. Jeez. Well, it's 2-0, Mark. This is...
You've beat me in 5 straight matches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, it's okay because you've got a player who a president named his dog after.
Oh, yes.
That means you've got Scott Fletcher.
Fletch, that's right.
Here with the Chicago White Sox. A good card, though. Let's see. It's actual game action. Choking way up on this bat. He's got real stirrups and he's got eye black. So you're out of the gate with 0.2 of a point. I'm not sure how much further you're going to get after that.
Man, I don't know.
15 years in the big league, 6 with the White Sox, 4 with the Rangers, 2 with the Red Sox and Cubs, and then Milwaukee and Detroit. In 1990, he hit 242, 304 on base, slugged 312. Not a lot of power. 75 OPS plus, 4 home runs, 56 ribs, and a 1.8 WAR. Not bad. Takes you up.
I'll take it.
Takes you up to 2 even. Let's see. First round draft pick 3 different times.
Wow.
In the 78, he was the 21st pick overall of Oakland. Didn't sign. Later that year in the secondary pick, the Astros picked him with the 5th pick. Did not sign. And the next year, the Cubs picked him 6th overall, and he did sign, and then eventually traded him with Pat Tabler and Dick Tidrow to the White Sox for Steve Trout. Was also traded with Wilson Alvarez and Sammy Sosa to the White Sox for Harold Baines and Fred Manrique. All right. We've mentioned, do you want pop culture for the dog name, the Springer Spaniel of George W., who died during Bush's first term?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't.
We haven't done it in the past, but I wanted to throw it out there.
No, that makes sense. I don't think it qualifies.
All right. Well, I don't know how this is going to work out, because I'm definitely going to get nicked for the steroids here, because I've got first baseman for the Rangers, Rafael Palmeiro.
Oh, man.
All right. Rafi, let's see. Overall, 20 years. There's another 20-year career right there in the big leagues.
Yeah.
10 with the Rangers, 7 with Baltimore, and 3 with the Cubs. Came up with the Cubs. Overall in 1990, well, good news for me, he led the league in hits, so there's a 1/10 of a point.
Yeah.
That's going to be about it. Hit 319, 361 on base, 468 slugging, 131 OPS plus, 14 home runs, 89 RBI, and a 4.3 WAR. But you're going to knock that down to a 3.3. So that'll be, let's see, 3.4. He's got mustache and he's got eye black. So that'll be a 3.6. But I've already knocked off the steroids, so I don't think you're going to even get off the mat again here. No. First round draft pick, 22nd overall by the Cubs in 1988, was dealt by the Cubs with Jamie Moyer for essentially Curtis Wilkerson and Mitch Williams in 1988. You remember your teammates at Mississippi State with Will Clark, Thunder and Lightning.
That's right.
They did not like each other. Big steroid user.
Oh, yeah.
Never admits it. Big steroid user.
The cream, the clear, the pills, everything.
All of
shots.
It. Yeah. Did you see there's gonna be a new A-Rod documentary coming out? A-Rod's not happy about it. Yeah. I mean, we've covered Rafael quite a bit. I mean, it's great that he wasn't able to appear in Baltimore on Rafael Palmeiro Appreciation Day because he was suspended for steroids.
Pop culture for Rafi. He did a Viagra commercial.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I've got the paper copy of it here in my images. Should I ever need it? I think he was still playing when he did it too. It was just kind of weird timing to do it while you're still playing. I'm sure he heard about it in the clubhouse and on the field. And from the stands and from the umpires, everybody. All right. Well, geez, I'm sorry to say, Mark, I have once again blown you out of the water.
We cannot find our footing.
No. Other cards that we had in this, we had 4 cards left over. We had Lee Mazzilli and Bill Buckner. Buckner would have gotten you 2/10 for the mustache. And he's wearing a hat underneath his batting helmet for the Royals. Nice. Let's see. We've got Andy Van Slyke. Nice. And then we've got with the Mariners pitcher Billy Swift. Billy, he went by at that point, I guess. He's still young. He's Billy. You get older, you become Bill.
Isn't Billy Swift an 80s rocker?
I don't know.
I'm making stuff up. I apologize.
You can find out more about that on our 80s hair metal podcast. Two strike.
Spandex.
Dude, spandex noise. All right, that'll do it, Mark. I hate to tell you, but I'm on a hot streak here. I'm up 4-3 now. We're
gonna have a closed door meeting.
Yeah, you need to shake it up. Maybe you need to make me go first or something, but I don't know. You need to toss a spread.
I think I know what I want to say aside from taking the spread away so they can't eat.
Well, in that spot I told you about the San Diego, the reporter tagging along for that road trip. They're like, well, we're staying in $50 a night hotels, so it's pretty good. And they were complaining about their per diem of $29 a day. It was very dated, but very interesting to watch them.
Sounds like it.
Talk about this stuff. All right. Well, that'll do it for Wax Packs Heroes. That'll also wrap up this episode of Two Strike Noise, our Tales from the Dugout episode. If you want more of us, you can find us all over the internet. Just check out the show notes. Do a Google search for Two Strike Noise. That's TWO Strike Noise. As always, I will remind you that I generally stream 3 times a week on YouTube and Twitch, 9 o'clock West Coast time. You can find me there. Do about an hour of just baseball dailies. We do the grid. We do daily walk-off. We do starting 9. We have themes depending on what we're doing that day. Just, it's a good time had by all. If you like this, stop on by. And you can also send us emails. Mark he's so excited about emails. He just learned about them, and he's got his own email address. Yes,
electronic mails. That's what these things are. It's pretty neat. And from what I hear, you can write to us at Two Strike Noise, spell it out, TWO, strike noise @gmail.com.
Completely free. Doesn't cost you postage, nothing. And it gets there really quick.
That's right.
Who knew? Like
overnight.
I remember posting on Prodigy baseball message boards in college, like my freshman year, where you would comment on these and they would have to be approved by a person. Like you wouldn't see your post for at least half a day.
Right.
So you couldn't really you couldn't rage at people as much because it would take forever.
Yeah,
we're old.
That's true.
All right, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all for listening. We hope to see you again on the next episode of Two Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.